Greetings from Cooley Law School. My name is Patrick Corbett, and I'm a professor of criminal law here at Thomas M. Cooley Law School in Lansing, Michigan. In this video clip, I would like to talk to you about how the criminal laws of Michigan might apply to a situation where a person uses the personal identifying information of another. Personal identifying information, person's name, social security, address, whatever. It's some kind of personal identifying information of another. This information is important because it will help you recognize the value that the law places on each of our personal identities. Hopefully it will motivate you to not only protect your own personal identity, but will also help you recognize the value in each of our personal identities and to respect that. Let's explore this law with a hypothetical. 14-year-old Jim goes online and buys beer from an internet site. Jim, in the process, uses his 22-year-old brother Bill's credit card while his family was finishing dinner. Is this a crime? Is this identity theft? I want you to assume, for purposes of this hypothetical, that Bill did not know that Jim wanted to do this. Jim was doing it without asking his brother for permission to do this. A few years ago, Michigan passed the Identity Theft Protection Act. This law is actually pretty voluminous, but it specifically applies to this situation. Under this law, it is a crime to misrepresent your own identity by using the personal identifying information of another, once again, name, social security number, account number, anything pertaining to that individual, to use the personal identifying information of another person to, and you can see from the PowerPoint slide, we have at least two situations that are potentially applicable here: to obtain goods or to commit another unlawful act. So, did he obtain goods here? Well, he used it to buy beer. Ultimately, he was able to get the beer and he bought beer, so he did this to obtain goods. Did he also commit another unlawful act? Well, how old is he? Remember I said he's 14. And in the state of Michigan, you're not allowed to buy alcohol until you're 21. So he used his brother's personal identifying information not only to obtain goods, but also to commit another unlawful act. A note on credit card fraud. For years as a prosecutor, I prosecuted fraud cases. And I have to tell you that a lot of the credit card fraud cases involved family member using another family member's credit card information without authorization. It happens. It's a routine way that the crime of credit card fraud occurs. And it can happen, this type of hypothetical is a realistic one because it happens between family members a lot. The other thing you might be saying to yourself is, wait a minute now, this is too insignificant to be prosecuted. No prosecutor is going to take this case. Well, what I'd like to suggest you do is to talk to your friends who've been convicted of being a minor in possession of alcohol. Every high school around the state of Michigan has individuals who have been convicted of this charge, being a minor in possession. They'll tell you that this is not too insignificant to be prosecuted. There are a lot of reasons why a prosecutor might look at this. Is the identity theft crime here more serious because a computer was used to commit the crime? Should it be? Well, the Michigan legislature thought so. They passed a law dealing with the prohibition of using a computer to commit another crime. It is a separate crime. We've got two separate charges: identity theft as well as the computer crime. Why would the legislature do this? Well, think about this. If Jim went to the store to buy alcohol as a 14-year-old, he would have to convince the cashier at 7-Eleven that he was in fact a 21-year-old. But if he does it on the internet, no problem there, right? The inability to detect the age of the defendant, that is the age of the purchaser, is a significant reason why the legislature may have decided to pass this separate computer crime law. So what's this individual facing in the long run? 4 separate charges: purchasing alcohol by a minor, potentially credit card fraud, identity theft, as well as computer crime. Some pretty serious consequences for a kid who just wanted to buy some beer as a 14-year-old. I hope the video has given you some good information on how valuable your identity is and the identity of other people. Protect it and be careful about what you do with other people's personal information. Thanks for listening.